Hi there, and welcome to my city kitchen. Today is New Year's Day, and in the part of the world where I grew up, that is a traditional day for eating black-eyed peas. True confession, I didn't grow up loving black-eyed peas, mainly because my mom, who was a lovely person, extremely creative, high energy, but she really had no interest in cooking or or interest in it at all. And so basically, our version of New Year's Day black-eyed peas were black-eyed peas boiled mushy and with salt and pepper. Not very appealing. However, I'm going to make a version of Hoppin' John. Not exactly Hoppin' John. We'll call it Hoppin' John's Gussied-Up cousin. Um, and I am going to make mine with a whole lot more spice. The great thing about Hoppin' John, which is a beans and rice dish, is that you can make it, and it's great the next day for tacos. It's also really nice for or burritos. It's also really nice as a salad the next day, and you can even make a soup out of it. So I make a lot of it, and then we eat on it for a couple of days. All right, so what do we need? There are two essentials for Hoppin' John. Here we have our black-eyed peas. I used half a package. I soaked them overnight, and then I pre-cooked them for 20 minutes. And here is about 1.25 cups of basmati brown rice. You can use white rice. We prefer brown. All right, I have cut up 1 carrot, 2 celery stalks, and a nice onion, and a whole half a bulb of garlic, roughly chopped. What about spices? Well, we're going to have our salt and our pepper. I've got my cumin, which I love for so many dishes that I make. I'm going to throw in here some thyme, a little bit of turmeric, and a bay leaf, as well as some ground up chili pepper. Sadly, I didn't bring any of my homegrown dried peppers, just forgot about it when I came up to the city this time. We were hauling the 4 animals, the 2 boys, and all of our stuff for the winter while we're here. Anyway, but this is what I had on hand. One of the reasons I'm doing it this way is I didn't have, when I went to the store a couple of days ago when we got here, believe it or not, they were out of a couple of essential ingredients. Specifically, they had no smoked ham hock or turkey wing or smoked anything. And so what are you going to do? You improvise. So I have 1/2 of a Polish sausage, which I'm just going to dice up and throw into this. I'm also going to make mine with chicken stock. I'm going to use approximately 3 to 4 cups of chicken stock. So, or you can use vegetable stock if you wish. You can also leave out the sausage or the ham hock, make it with vegan meat substitute or something like that, or not at all. But I like the smokiness that the sausage or ham hock gives to the finished product. Step 1 is just to take some olive oil, and we're going to saute the carrot and olive mixture. I'll start with the carrots and onions, let them go for about a minute, then we'll add the garlic in. Next, let's add in that garlic. This is just being done over a medium heat with a good bit of olive oil in there. Once everything has started to soften, we're just going to add in some of the spices, starting with my hot pepper, my chili powder, if you're using it. I'm going to add spices in one at a time to layer in those flavors. Next comes cumin. People always say how much. I just say enough. I would say that's about maybe 2 teaspoons of cumin. Here comes the turmeric. About a teaspoon of turmeric. I'm going to let these cook down just a bit more. This looks pretty good and it smells fantastic. Now I'm just going to add in these sausages that I've cut up. Stir them around just for a minute. Get them melding in with the flavors. Okay. Next, we're going to add in the rice. Give it a stir. And that big load of beans, black-eyed peas, and the broth. That was 2 cups. We're going to add at least 1 more cup, and maybe 2. It's not going to take on a gorgeous color. I can add in a little bit more. You could have this as a meal alone. There we go. That's 4 cups of broth altogether. With that broth, it hardly needs any salt, so I'm just going to add pepper good grind of black pepper. We can always add salt in later if needed, but this is going to have plenty of flavor. I'm going to add in bay leaves. Oh, I need to buy some bay leaves. Good thing I'm going to the store where I get my spices tomorrow. Here is some thyme. About a teaspoon, or what's left in the bottle. I'm going to turn the heat up and bring this up to a boil. So I am going to let this, bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to put a top on it and let it cook for about 25 minutes. That rice should be done by then. Then if it's still very soupy, that's fine. I can either drain off some of the broth and reserve it, or for when I make soup or something like that. Because it is New Year's, the other thing that we traditionally do is eat something green. And oftentimes I make my Hoppin' John with kale or collards, something like that, thrown in at the very end of cooking. Then time, and I have turned this pot off. Now, normally I would go ahead and take some greens and throw it into the pot and let that cook for about 5 minutes. But because I'm not serving this right away, I'm not going to do that. But let's go ahead and see how this tastes. So I have a little bowl of the Hoppin' John City Cousin, jazzed up cousin, and it's a lovely color. You just have to imagine it with a bit of the green in there. I'm going to taste it now. See how it is. I like it because it's got good texture. The beans have flavor, and it's got enough spice in it to keep it interesting. But Sage will probably have to put more hot sauce on it, because that's how he likes it. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great new year. And try my non-Hoppin' John Hoppin' John. Pretty good.